Houston, 1994. The Rockets are on the brink of NBA glory. The crowd is roaring. Hakeem Olajuwon is dominating in the paint. And alongside him, quietly, calmly, but history in the making, is a tall, lanky forward from the Caribbean. His name? Carl Herrera. To the casual fan, just another role player. But to Trinidad and Venezuela, he was a living bridge, a son of two nations, the first of his kind to touch the NBA hardwood. Wait, that sounded wrong. Let's rephrase, the first of his kind to step onto the NBA court and make history for the Caribbean. Much better. And here's the twist. While Carl was cashing NBA checks in the 90s, Venezuela was cashing oil checks with America, and Trinidad was quietly becoming the energy capital of the Caribbean. Basketball, oil, geopolitics, and one man's story caught in the middle. Welcome to the untold legacy of Carl Herrera. Stick around, because today we're diving into his rise from the Caribbean to NBA champion, his net worth, his near-death shooting, and his lasting cultural legacy. And hey, if you love stories that mix sports, history, and Caribbean pride, make sure you like this video. Drop a comment and subscribe, because this channel is all about celebrating our legends. Roots and early life. Carl Victor Herrera Allen was born in Trinidad in 1966, but his story wouldn't stay on that small island for long. His family later moved to Venezuela, giving him a dual identity that would shape everything that followed. He didn't come from privilege. His parents worked hard, instilling in him discipline, resilience, and humility. Trinidadian family traditions mixed with Venezuelan grit. Sunday family meals on one side, street basketball on the other. It's almost poetic that a boy raised between two oil-rich nations would end up fueling the Rockets. He rose through the ranks in Venezuela, then moved to the US for college ball. By 1990, the dream became real. Herrera was drafted into the NBA. A Trinidad-born, Venezuelan-raised kid had just cracked the world's toughest league. Carl Herrera's NBA journey wasn't flashy. He wasn't dropping 40 points a night. But every team needs its glue guys. The steady rebounder, the defender, the role player who does the dirty work. That was Carl. He started with the Miami Heat, then found his way to Houston. And oh, what timing. The Rockets, led by Hakeem Olajuwon, were about to make history. While with the Rockets, Herrera was given the nickname Amigo, a nod to his easygoing personality and team-first mentality. He became beloved not just for his hustle, but for being a teammate everyone could count on. Carl became the first Venezuelan in the NBA and, by extension, the first Caribbean-born player to win an NBA championship. Twice. Back-to-back, 1994 and 1995. Now let's talk numbers, because I know some of you only perk up when you hear net worth. In the 90s, NBA salaries weren't like today's $100 million contracts. Herrera's peak salary hovered around $1 million a season, still life-changing. Add endorsements, smart investments, and international play, and estimates place his net worth today in the $2 to $5 million range. Not billionaire status, but enough to buy doubles in Trinidad or arepas in Venezuela every day for the rest of his life. Caribbean and global impact. Carl wasn't just playing basketball. He was carrying two flags at once. For Venezuela, he was the trailblazer, the first to break into the NBA. For Trinidad, he was proof that yes, a small island boy could run with the giants. Think about it. He paved the way for today's Caribbean NBA stars. Buddy Hield from the Bahamas, DeAndre Ayton too. Without Herrera showing it was possible, maybe the scouts don't look twice at Caribbean gyms. And here's the global twist. While Herrera was winning rings in Houston, Houston oil execs were flying to Caracas. Venezuela was one of the US's biggest oil suppliers in the 90s. And Trinidad? Quietly fueling America with liquefied natural gas. The irony? Houston fans were cheering Herrera on the court while filling their cars with oil pumped from his homelands. That's what you call full-court press geopolitics. USA-Venezuela-Trinidad relations. Now, was Venezuela a threat back then? Not at all. In the 90s, Venezuela was a friend of the US, a key oil partner, pumping millions of barrels a day into American markets. It wasn't until Hugo Chavez took power in 1999 that the relationship soured. Meanwhile, Trinidad was America's quiet ally, not a threat, but a reliable energy hub. So while Carl Herrera was boxing out under the rim, his two homelands were boxing smart in the global oil economy. It's almost poetic. One man, bridging the worlds of basketball and petroleum, culture and commerce, the Caribbean and America. Family life. But let's strip away the stats and politics for a second. Carl Herrera is, above all, a family man. Married, with children, he's always kept his private life away from the spotlight. That discipline? Classic Caribbean parenting. After the NBA, he poured himself into mentoring young athletes. To many, he became a father figure, proving that legacy isn't just about rings or money, but about the lives you touch. The 2014 shooting incident. And then came December 2014. Carl was back in Venezuela on Margarita Island, the Caribbean jewel known for beaches, not bloodshed. But that day, tragedy struck. During what police called an apparent robbery attempt, Carl Herrera was shot. He was rushed to intensive care. For a moment, the Caribbean held its breath. A man who once battled Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing was now battling for his life against bullets at home. He survived, but the incident became a haunting symbol. Venezuela, once a partner to the US, was descending into chaos. Crime, shortages, inflation, even its greatest sports heroes weren't safe. For Carl's family, it was a terrifying reminder that wealth can't always buy safety. Yet just like on the court, Herrera showed resilience. He recovered and kept giving back. The champion had become the survivor. Life after the NBA. After hanging up his sneakers, Herrera didn't fade away. He stayed involved in basketball, coaching, mentoring, and building programs for young players. He even dabbled in business ventures. More importantly, he carried himself with humility. No ego, no scandals, just a steady presence, exactly how he played the game. Legacy. So what's Carl Herrera's legacy? First Venezuelan, and by birth, Trinidadian, to play in the NBA. Two-time NBA champion with the Houston Rockets. Known affectionately as Amigo, teammate, friend, and glue guy. A career that inspired generations of Caribbean athletes. A man who survived violence and turned pain into purpose. And yes, a net worth in the millions. Not bad for a kid who once dreamed on the streets of Trinidad and Venezuela. Carl Herrera's story is more than basketball. It's about survival, resilience, and the quiet power of representation. He wasn't the flashiest player, but he was the bridge between Trinidad and Venezuela, between the Caribbean and the NBA, between the struggles of home and the triumphs of the world stage. So now I want to hear from you. Where does Carl Herrera rank among Caribbean legends? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's argue it out respectfully, like true fans. And hey, if you enjoyed this journey into sports, culture, and geopolitics, smash that like button, subscribe and share this video, because stories like these deserve to be told far beyond our shores. Carl Herrera may not have been the loudest voice on the court, but his legacy, it speaks volumes. Thanks for watching.